Yes. What's happening? How are we doing? Happy Friday. Hope you're really good. Welcome to show 386, Confessions of a Coach. So, I think this particular show today is going to be more for me than you, but I think you'll still get something out of it. And I don't think it matters who you follow, who you work with. I don't think anyone is immune to having a blip. And I think that one of the reasons that I want to do this particular show in this session is because I really need to unload myself. And I really need to understand my own process. And I do understand it, but sharing it with you will help you understand how to be able to deep dive into your head to figure out what is going on and what the triggers are, and how you bring yourself back, right? I think these elements and these things are really, really important when we're trying to improve ourselves, okay? I think they're really important to be able to understand ourselves better, all right? So let's get into this. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman, and if you are coming through, please do hit the love heart button, and please do comment how long it takes you to bounce back from a bad day, okay? Do you do it almost right away? Does it take you a week? What's the time frame? Cool. All right. So, how do I feel right now? So, I am definitely turbo stressed out. And I haven't been for a long time. I'm going to go through the sequence of events that takes us there, right? And like I say, I think every coach will do this, but I think it's important to be honest with the people that listen to you about this, because I want you to understand that I don't want you to go through when you have a bad blip or something happens or you get triggered that you go, oh God, is it just me? It's everybody, all right? So this is pretty much stemmed from a drinking session now where I went out with the boys, and we went out with the boys, got absolutely blattered, absolutely turbo like drunk. Well, I wasn't actually fully drunk, but I was definitely intoxicated. And then straight from that, my mum was coming down for the week and living with us in the house, okay? Mum and her partner coming in. So when we talk about energy and when we talk about time and we talk about focus, what we have is lots going on in our lives, right? And as soon as alcohol gets into the system, talking about where it's affecting neurologically, about your securities and unearthing all of that, that really was the crack. So if you think about a crack on a lake, so before it starts going right across the lake, there's always the initial crack, and the initial crack was when went out for the booze, right? Next morning, noticed right away that I didn't feel as secure or as in control as I wanted to. Now, I often talk about the state of mind being a fort and us building that fort up. Now, until that point, my mindset from Christmas was an absolute bomb-proof. Okay, it was like a nuclear bomb shelter. Absolutely on it. All over January, did 3 meetups. Great work-life balance. And then it was half term. So then half term came in, mum come down, but off the back of the drink, there's a little chink, there's a little crack. So then obviously giving lots of energy to the kids, lots of energy to mum coming down, lots of energy to everything that's going on in there. Run a marathon as well. So that's breaking down that mindset as well. Routine then kind of slips slightly on holidays. So when it's on holidays, the structural routines and systems that are in place slowly start cracking. Okay. So then by the end of half term, when we see mum off, like the cracks got a little bit bigger because we've allowed things just to slip slightly because it's half term. Okay. And then we come back into the 5-day challenge. Now, the 5-day challenge takes an awful lot of emotional energy and time and effort doing coaching sessions, getting everything planned, getting everything built up. So, coming off the back of a real down period, not as in down mood, but down as in time out, you then got to bring yourself straight back up. So you're going from here to here and elevating yourself, and you're slightly drained because it's been half term. So emotionally, like what we're doing is that crack in that fort, and some of the external things that don't normally get in are slowly sort of seeping in. And then I kind of broke through that, being that down. I kind of broke, and I got kind of immersed into a story on the news about that woman that went missing, Nicola. And I was just, I guess there was an awful lot of hoping that she would be found alive. And I got caught up into that story. And because I got caught up into that story, I wasn't turning off Alexa when the news come on. I was, for the first time, going back into the news to actually see if there was any update. And I almost become quite obsessed with the story, just through pure hope that she was somehow miraculously found alive. Then, that then triggered me watching more content on social media. So then I was suddenly consuming more social media. Then that triggered me to start watching more porn. So the three things that absolutely destroy my insecurities and my control of my emotions, news, social media and porn, were all back in my life. All back in my life. At a point where my energy was low and it needed to be high. So there were all of these emotional distractions. And you might be thinking, where is he? Like, what is he on? But these are the things, right, when we're deep diving into ourselves, when we're deep diving in our reflection, we're looking for the triggers that have put me in the position where I'm in right now. We have to go back and we have to look at this at a micro level. So by the start of the 5-day challenge, we've done the welcome, we're on the first day, we're around Tuesday. I have then suddenly slipped back into news, porn, social media, comparisons, insecurities, and it's starting to build up. It's like a volcano building, right? And then I started feeling insecure about the business again. So I started overthinking about the business. We've got a really big 6 months coming up for business owners and CEOs and executives and senior professionals in terms of a brand new branch of the business that we're coming up, which is called Elite Legacy. So then I'm trying to figure out what the route is on that. What's the blueprint? How are we going? What are we doing? And I can't think clearly. So that's frustrating me. So we're going into the three elements or the three emotions that really trigger the breakthrough into the fort. Chaos, frustration and anxiety. Chaos off the back of half term, slipping slightly and lowering the standards of the routine. Frustration and not being able to make progress with this new Elite Legacy. Frustration at myself for allowing porn, news and social media to come back in. And by the way, this is only a matter of days. This is not like been going on forever. This is like literally over the last 2 weeks. And we're then going through it. So then as we're going through the 5-day, lots of energy needed there. As well as that, I've got 4 kids to look after. 2 young'uns, 1.5-year-old and then the 5-year-old. So then my wife's working a lot more, so then I'm having to do a lot more daddy daycare. So I'm trying to move the business forwards. I'm trying to do all of the things that I need to do for me, and obviously still trying to babysit. Jem's then going to Canada, so I'm anxious about being alone for 9 days with 4 kids and running a business. So all of this is slowly building up in terms of this fort, right? Slowly the fort is starting to come under attack from all of the external hardships and the chaos, just realities of life, right? So I'm trying to control all of this, and I'm running everyone around. We're like running the kids to jiu-jitsus and colleges and NFL training, and we're dealing with the kids, dealing with Jem going. Then I've got the 100-mile training that I'm trying to squeeze in. So I'm trying to find time to train for the 100-miler. So let's pile that on board. Then we had the blow of Bailey not getting into the NFL. So that emotionally just literally broke. So when I read the email, I had a proper good cry. Then was trying to figure out as a father how I told him. And again, all of this emotional pressure, life pressure, just kind of coming in, and the fort slowly cracking. Anything else, James? So what else have we written here? And then I started going into, obviously I've spoken about the comparisons. And then we come all the way through to Friday today. And then there was a really key decision this morning for me. Really, really key decision. And I was going to stay at home and catch up with work. So I've decided that I was just going to take a day out to go and play at a charity golf event. Because I just needed to take that day out. I just needed to just press the stop button and go, this can't continue. This is where we flick the switch, right? And I was thinking about it in bed last night, and I've just done my morning routine, just gone walking there, and I'm trying to pick up all of the triggers. So I've gone through all of those triggers. And it was either stay at home this morning and work until 7 o'clock to get all of the work done. And then I looked at the tasks, and none of them warranted me really needing to stay at home to do it. Or I came out here and I did this session with you, and I did that session of reflection with me there, and stop this rut. Okay, which we have done. So we flicked the switch. So I've recognised all of the triggers. I've recognised everything that's going on. Just talking to you, I can almost feel the weight fall off as well, which is great. And I already know my plan of action. We've got 9 days with the kids. Gem's away. Next week's almost going to be a down week. I'm just going to be working only with my clients. Very little social media in terms of work. Get rid of the porn again. I don't really need to go back into the news now after that terrible news that Nicola had passed. So I'm not obsessed into that story anymore. And then I'm going to stop, obviously, because I'm not creating as much. I can withdraw myself from that social media. And can you just see how very quickly things can slip? And really, one of the main triggers that all started with that knees up with the boys. And then going into, I'm just going to take my foot off the gas. Because I lowered my standards through half term. Because I lowered my standards. I took my foot off the gas for a second. And the whole of real life came in, closing in, and the walls closed in. And the fort came under attack. Okay? And that's how simple and easy it can be to slip. But how quickly it can be to get back up is by doing a bit of personal accountability and self-reflection, which is what I'm doing with you. It's important for you to know that I'm going through this. Some people go, well, you're discrediting yourself as a coach. Am I? Am I really? Or am I really showing a high level of understanding that actually this is the roller coaster that we go through life? Just because I'm a coach, just because I spent the last 10 years working on myself, it doesn't mean I'm immune to overthinking, to insecurity, to distractions, to real life. Do you know what I mean? It's how we get better and stronger, right? It's like when you go to the gym and you do the gym, you break down all your muscle fibers and then they come back stronger, constantly building yourself up. And that's what we're doing here in life, right? We're going through lots of different scenarios and chapters that we all go through. And when we go through them, when we reflect, we become out the other side much stronger, much more understanding, right? That's how we roll. That's how we move forwards. And that's how we become the guy that we want to be. That's how we step up, by being honest and open and focused. Now, I feel much better now. When we go from here, I'll go straight back into where we were. I've already done my structure for the next week. I already know where my time, energy and focus is going. I've dealt with the last 2 weeks and we move on. Make sense to everyone? Cool. All right. So that's it. So next week we're working with the Elite 28 Day lads. Gem's going tomorrow. I'm desperately going to miss her. It's going to be a difficult 9 days, but it's going to be really fun with the kids. To top it off, I decided to vlog it, but I think it will be a fun vlog. It'll be something to do. It's more for me, not you lot, as much as I love you lot. It's more to create those memories and record them, and Jemima can kind of like watch them when she's in Canada. But that's me. Have an amazing weekend. If you're joining us for the Elite 28 Day on Monday, I'll see you then. If you're on my Elite 90s, I'll see you Monday. If you're in my groups, I'll see you Monday. If you don't work with me, I'll see you Monday. We've got 3 great coaching sessions next week, all on the whiteboard, because obviously I can't leave the kids in bed or leave the house. But have a cracking weekend, and I'll see you soon.